Ta-da! And welcome everyone to Astrology and Alchemy with your very favorite hosts, Matt and Sarah, Sarah and Matt. We are here. Look at everybody in the chat room already joining us. Matt, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Had a little
Man.
marathon. We shot up to Philly to see my favorite band Saturday night, and then drove back all night Saturday night.
I
And
saw
then my
you
wife
were
went
at a
on to
concert.
Florida Sunday, and so I'm my mental biological schedule is all screwed
Discombobulated.
up.
Yeah. Who did you
I'm here.
see? Tell everybody who you saw.
It was the Cure. That's my
The
favorite.
Cure. I couldn't believe that. I saw that and I was like, no way. Super cool. So good way to end July, or not July, June. We're going to be heading into July this next week. Can you believe it? It's the end of June.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, guys.
Halfway through the year.
I feel like when I need to look at our predictions.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I think the year hasn't turned into the crap show that I thought it was going to be, which is actually good. I said I'd be very happy if I was wrong with my predictions this year, and I was wrong.
Well, and I have what did we put for July? For June, we said, hold on, we got to look at this. I got it right here, guys. You're looking at the chat. Sorry, you're seeing my busted biscuits here, but okay. June, moon, information about the moon, things going on with the moon. I think that's kind of interesting. Far away science finds, power shift, elite, money, NATO collapse, question mark, China, homeland awareness, money, tanking, question mark, moving backwards, question mark. And we even had suggested Trump taking a step back right here at the end of June.
Yeah, I do remember that he was gonna get kind of knocked out as front runner.
It might happen still too. So that in July,
what else did we have for the first? What else did we have for the whole first half of the year?
Oh,
I know we're totally eating up time here, but I'm curious. I never write it down.
For the first half of the year, as we finished, we had that there's going to be huge EMP shifts with security and the USA, EU shaking, some overthrowing, some cyber attacks, and to watch for structural united events happening in January. I have a little spreadsheet that we should do a whole show about the things that have panned out. February for the Hunger Moon, supplying the ISS, H2O crisis, some flooding, major water and fire issues with a border break, a border shift, a border change, as well as on the 21st, we predicted a clamp down or a shut it up or something happening with a censorship or something happening with a news shift, as well as an Australian riptide or some type of a harp thing, something happening with something in Australia significantly with the waters there and things in the water there. Interesting. March, we said there will be a particular rebellion or a coup. We were 1 month off on that one. Prelude, maybe not even. Prelude with a power shift of radio, AM, FM radio, Pluto life shift for the equinox, Egyptian, uncovering something Egyptian in March. We did that, by the way. 23-25 U.S. politics, huge tech shift in March. Huge tech shift in March. We put the tech goes into the fray. That was ChatGPT. April, full egg moon, babies, NATO creation, WEF, God awareness, Roe versus Wade, solar eclipse. There's going to be a shift on what is God. May, music awareness, privacy scare, some type of a privacy break or a hack, a cyber hack. There's going to be a new health scare at the end of May with awareness being announced on NFTs, UAP, UFO shifts, May, with eye in the sky, far away, lights far away. Think of the lights on Jupiter. Going into June, power shift of the elite, something happening with auto sales, major auto sales shifts, a China break in homeland awareness, and a NATO collapse, question mark. And then we have that move into July. For July, guys, we put the EU will fracture There will be revelations on politics, a major increase in heat, sun, EMP, solar stuff. And then kind of scary on here, there's a big open space that says barren, which if you're someone who works with me or is familiar with me in my mentorship, barren isn't just a word barren, but the spirit guide barren. And so that to me suggests some interesting things maybe happening here at the July.
I had thought that I was, who knows, it still could be, but I had thought in the first half of the year, this has kind of gone opposite, that I thought Russia was going to do something really aggressive and we were going to start backing off big time. And then the House was going to tie up all the finances and that we were going to have kind of a financial collapse, which we've avoided all that so far. That's what I thought was going to happen. And then on the health thing, the new health scare coming up, I have been seeing, it's been low key, but there's been things coming up about a new strain out again, doing stuff. Because I've seen some of it's a little more on my, I'd say a little more revelation paranoid friends that I don't necessarily agree with, but they've been the ones posting it, saying it's coming. They're going to try to shut us down again. You got to be careful. Got to be careful. So
it's coming. It's coming. As well as some really unique stuff with like polio and meningitis and some additional things coming out of the water bacteria, water scares, all kinds of really interesting things, guys, that I just don't know how I feel completely. And I'm excited to see how July pans out. Oh,
I've seen some.
So exciting.
Even right before we started, I was seeing, Mark of the Beast. Like, I don't buy any of that. I don't personally believe we are the bad guys. Like, I actually think that if that actually does play out and there is like an evil global government, it's because it's going to be because we get kind of taken out, and what's supposed to be the good guys fighting the evil empire are actually going to be the bad guys. And so
I
do think if you know anything about Russian history,
get out there.
I do think Putin's done. If anybody remembers 91, there was a failed coup, and the Soviet Union collapsed 5 months later.
The coup is real. And, I wish I knew a little bit more about the Wagner coup. I will be honest with you. I feel like I need to know more. I wish I knew more, and I need to do better at being better in my politics for those who watch No Man's Land, especially because, oh my God, I can't get a hold of it. I can't quite put my finger on the source of it.
See, no need to debate that. See, Steph and I are on opposite sides of this. I feel folks that our government's the bad guy. Like folks trying to, and generally it's like, evangelicals and stuff that, we want to fight this because they're actually going to set this. If they ever succeed, they're going to set the stage for the bad guys to take over. Because
if they ever succeed,
it's never simple. Like if you feel if there's like a big deception going on, it's never going to be the obvious.
The USSR never went away. They just went underground.
Feel guys correct there.
And then Mary said, yep, there was even a massive military AI fludge level the other day.
But this also wasn't bloodless. So a lot of people, I follow this stuff pretty closely, partially because I'm really do want to see Russia get their heads handed to them. If anybody knows me, I really don't like Russia.
What?
But
you,
or at least Putin, the whole old Soviet guys. But anyway, that was not bloodless. What happened on Saturday? There were, I believe, 7 aircraft that were shot down.
Crazy! You didn't even hear about that in the news at all.
There's videos of it. Multiple helicopters as well as some actual transport planes that he said ahead of time. We'll take out aircraft that's headed in our direction when we're marching, and they sent aircraft in their direction, and they did get taken out. Now, it's really weird as to what, and this will probably take weeks before the truth comes out on this, but this played out really, really weird. So there's some other piece of information here that, we don't know about, but So
we should do a whole show on this because we could and we should, but we won't tonight. We will spare those of you tuning in, maybe for the first time. Welcome. If not, then we always do our little sidewalk talks, and we've always got things in the air because astrology and alchemy is about prediction, which I think as far as mental health goes, it helps us with anxiety, uncertainty, the just being aware of what's going on and our place in it. Because believe it or not, we're all God, but we're not God. You know what I mean, guys? We got to be aware of what's happening.
Just stay out of the debate, or I'll just say I disagree with Steph's stuff on this. That Russia's worse. Russia is and I'll even go if I wanted to be an evangelical, which I'm not, and be a literalist, but like it's even in like Revelation and stuff that Russia's like ground zero for like all the bad stuff. But I will also say that if there ever is like an evil conspiracy that takes over, it's going to be people that claim to be very religious that will do it. It's not going to be I don't want to go down this route because I don't even want to. I don't want to go down this way, but no, I don't think it's clean. I don't think it's clean stuff. But I think Russia is dirty through and through, and they're trying to rebuild the Soviet Union, and we should never let that happen. We should have World War III before we allow Russia to rebuild because they're not good. But anyway, yeah. I would even say not that I am a literalist and believe all this stuff, but even like the things that come out, like. If there really is a antichrist thing to come out, it's not going to be a atheist that comes. It's going to be someone claiming to be religious that just distorts it, that takes it all over, and that's what's going to. And I think that's where all these people get it wrong. That they think there's going to be some kind of like evil Satan. That's going to be somebody claiming to be good.
Yeah, or could just be.
And then once they get everybody conned, they're going to flip.
Could be Project Bluebeam. Don't hold out yet.
They may not be good, but again, I want to see Putin and Russia collapse. So. Like
you're biased.
I wish them nothing good. So
you're biased.
Yeah. So like no matter what happens, like I want to see them like fail and have bad things happen to them for trying to rebuild.
I wish nothing but bad things for you and the people that you know.
But all those ones, Obran in Hungary, and all these, supposedly,
what?
I don't even know what you want to call it. They use the word. It's kind of funny though, because it's all propaganda. They use the word family friendly, but really they're just Taliban light in kind of their social doctrine and things. Like all those folks, I don't want them to do well at all. So yeah, the guy in Hungary, the person that just took over in Italy, Erdogan in Turkey, like all these folks, they're just.
How do you feel about Trudeau? Have I ever asked you how you feel about Trudeau? Do you think that he's an implant?
I don't think he's an implant. I don't necessarily like him, but I think he had cozy. If I remember, I don't follow. This is going to be really awful. I don't follow Canada all that closely. But from what I was seeing was he seemed to cozy up a lot to China. But again, I think I'm of the opinion, and I argue with my friends a lot on this. China wants to compete. They want to beat us, but they just want to compete as an alternative. Where I feel the difference on Russia is there's a revenge element with them. They feel like, even though they collapsed on their own, they didn't need us to do it. They want payback. And so that's why I feel there's worse stuff there. Whereas,
revenge.
China just wants to beat us. Russia wishes us harm. And that's the difference.
Look at this. Look at all this discussion that we have on. We really could do a political show. That'd be fun. We should consider it. He's a part of the problem too, Sarah. He's from the same school. It's true. It's a really wild place, man. We could just go down this wormhole forever.
Yep. And I don't want to draw it.
Well, no, and I like the people talking about distraction and control, all things that are extremely relevant and very, relevant to, I could even say astrology and the way things are moving and panning out to see it in a macro sense of how things are unfolding. Guys, I don't know how you have felt this last week. We're in Cancer season now. It's emotional times. Have you nearly teared up? Have you had a moment? I'm always trying to get Matt to cry. It's on my bucket list. In a good way, of course. But the idea is you might be feeling a little extra emotional. And man, that Juno asteroid comet thing we talked about last week with marital shifts, relationship shifts, career shifts, life identity shifts. Go out and look at the Facebook stream, guys. It's out there, man. It is out there. So today, Tuesday, the 27th, we kind of have an idea. We talked about last week some of the things that are happening. I'll put them in the chat, but let's go ahead and just move into Wednesday. And I'm going to put it in there. So, and only one thing is happening. So for you guys maybe new to the show, go ahead and get out a piece of paper, text yourself. The idea is that you get self-validation from this to be able to say, okay, what do I think? What do we know? How do we feel? Wednesday, that's tomorrow. The only major thing, the only astrological major thing that's happening, and please let me know if you have different. The sun will be in Cancer, and that'll be trine Saturn in Pisces, which it's said to be big for communication, a togetherness. But Matt, what do you have to say about it?
First, I just wanted to quick add, because I can't address all the comments in there, but just remember it's probably my cat nature, but I always want to play for Team Empire and not Team Small and Humble. So there's a reason why I do work on a big scale and don't like work in a mom and pop place. So yeah, it's so related to that. Sun in Cancer, trine in Pisces. So yeah, this is synergy. Saturn in Pisces. I feel like this is, Saturn's rules and regulations, but Pisces, there's like a sacrificial element to Pisces, being willing to kind of take one for the team or, endure harm for the greater good. Cancer is very home and security related. So I would look for tomorrow rules, changes, things. People, I almost view this as I don't want to trigger the chat again because I feel this is another triggering type thing. A good analogy for this one, I go back to the old like Patriot Act thing. It's like we're making sacrifices, or even some of the pandemic stuff. It's like we're gonna make rules that we're gonna all do self-sacrifice because it helps the greater good. Well, actually, I think more of the Patriot Act one because it gives us greater security. Whether it really does or not, that can be up to debate. But I view this as outward rules changes that have a sacrificial element to it to bring greater security. I'm just going on all these different, since we're going on these, I have always said that security is an illusion. And so I am never willing to sacrifice things for greater security because I feel that just feeds bad folks that play that security card, where security is always an illusion. I love it that you say security, because when I think of security and the Patriot Act, man, those are kind of major deals that are happening in like the UFO realm right now. I mean, there's just some wild shit happening out there. I just feel like I'm like triggering stuff. I did this on social media a long time ago, and I triggered it triggered such a firestorm, and I kind of said it tongue in cheek. But this is where I say that, like, the security thing's such a illusion, in that, if only terror networks could, I'm not saying casualty, I'm saying number of attacks, if only they could aspire to the level of attacks that middle school and high school students in this country are able to execute in this country. It's just, I know. We got ourselves all tied up in knots. Granted, it was a huge attack and they were claiming huge things, but basically they did one. It was a big one, but they did one. And that was like 25 years ago. Like, I've had friends tell me about
people getting upset. Security is an illusion.
All the Iranians sneaking into the, I remember in the early 2000s hearing about all these terrorists that were sneaking into our porous border. I don't know. Maybe they got hooked on Jerry Springer or something, because what the hell happened to them? Like, they were supposedly invading us. And now they're probably God. Like, if they snuck in when they were 20, 25, now they're,
snuck in,
pushing geriatric. And so
sneaky bastards sneaking around.
What happened to them all?
I love the word sneak, because I always think of snuck. They snuck. Wait a minute. Anyway, guys, this is kind of an.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going to derail the show tonight. even when you listen to like certain, like I used to listen to like certain, talk shows on the radio, just for entertainment and stuff.
I think I'm gonna
And even listen to that, all the commercials are, you need to be worried about X, let's sell you Y. And so that's why I think it's it's all bullshit. It's people will get you scared about something because they want to sell you something.
Absolutely. The fight or flight is well, you don't want to be, I mean, if I ever wanted to sell a car charger when I worked at Sprint, I mean, do you drive your car? You do? Oh, goodness. Have you ever been stuck somewhere and just didn't have oh my God, that's the worst. You don't want to be stuck on your vacation without a charger, without no way to call for help. So.
I don't know what I did, but I just lost chat.
You did? I still see them.
Here I am. That was something weird happened there. I was trying to say hi to a new person in here.
Mona said, man, never seen this channel before. Interesting. Well, Mona, you hit us on a fun night.
Yeah, we're actually supposed to be talking about the I'm like derailing everything tonight. Getting on a soapbox.
No, I love hearing I love hearing all the things that come forward because I believe in synchronicity and coincidence. And so hearing all of the things, it's just very relevant. And for those joining us in the chat room, it's really fun. So it's going to continue. It just will. It's the vibe. Thursday, let's at least stay somewhat focused. We expect some security issues on Wednesday. Tomorrow. That's the only big issue.
Be very wary of any like rule proposals or changes that come up because they won't be good.
For sure.
But they'll be spun. It's for your own good and your own safety.
It's for your own safety. Don't you see? Well,
don't buy it.
Don't buy it. Pan out to Thursday. Thursday, Mercury in Cancer, trine the Saturn and Pisces again.
This is so easy. This is so easy. So Sunday was or Wednesday was the idea when the sun was in Cancer. Now Thursday is going to be the PR pitch because Mercury is all thoughts and communication. So Thursday is when you're going to see all this stuff in the news and all the pitch about how this idea is such a good idea and how it needs to be done and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it won't be good.
If you are struggling with a problem, if you are going through an issue, talk it out with a friend or family member. Their advice will maybe help you in things you are not seeing because, guys, we are in the midst of water. A lot of water. This is a quicksand, so to speak. How do you see this panning out for politics on Thursday, whatever the idea is for tomorrow?
The idea will break tomorrow, but Thursday, pay attention to like what's getting put out all across like media. That'll be like the communication blitz as to why this is a good thing. I wonder what's going to get proposed. I've actually, I hate to say it, but my life has been better since I've kind of stopped
watching the news.
Because most of it's BS and it's all negative stuff trying to steer you in a direction anyway. Absolutely. But so I'm curious what will get pitched, but something's going to get pitched and it's going to be BS. Mona's from Sweden. So little thing to just share. Everybody always finds this very odd. My past life where I used to work when I was up in Pennsylvania, we had and I know it's not Sweden, but at least it's close. We had a facility in Finland. And so I used to have to travel to Turku, Finland a lot. So only ever in Sweden when I was connecting in to the airport, but I was close to Sweden many times. The only time I was in Spain in January, but prior to that, all my time in Europe has been in Finland, which awesome place. Love Finland. I don't like winter weather, so like the cold would get to me, but other than that, really cool place.
So, man, I just want to travel so badly there. Whew. So welcome for all of you guys, and be sure to share in the chat. Where are you? I'm in Minnesota. Where are you, Matt?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. I always say Massachusetts, North Carolina, Massachusetts. So weird in my head.
I'm from Pennsylvania, but I've been in North Carolina for like 20 years.
And you like rain on the East Coast for me. It's just he's over there on the East Coast. Matt's over there. And I'm up north somewhere. So wherever you guys are, share in the chat room. So Thursday, we have kind of that clear space of, guys, don't buy it. Whatever it is, don't buy it.
It's a scam.
It's going to be a scam. So don't buy it. Okay. So then Friday. Okay, shoot. Friday. When I am looking at this, 1, 2. Oh, okay. It's just 2 things. Don't get scary, Sarah. And I'll put it in the chat room. Friday is the first thing. This makes me so nervous, Matt. You'll know if you guys listen in, you'll know that I get nervous on this kind of stuff. I know, right? So Friday, I know, right? Our shoulders slump.
I struggle with this.
After the pitch, after whatever that was, after some people buying the baloney, with a dreamy planet in retrograde, Neptune, you are thrust out of fantasy land and forced to confront some really harsh truths about yourself. Pisces is not gonna give you any bullshit if you are in the quicksand, so to speak, this watery place. When you're reaching up to grab things, I think of the Princess Bride in the Swamps of Despair, and you're grabbing for this, you're going to realize whose hand's there to help you and who's going to walk away.
Yeah, this is... So I always go, Neptune, dreams, deception, and then Pisces is kind of that, so I feel like this is like, if you get, I guess the other way to describe this is an aspect if you are really in your head and get way too far into your head that... it's funny. I was just, it was an audiobook, but there was this person that was having a huge argument, and part of what was going on was they were attributing things that the other person was saying just in their head, and they weren't things that were ever said, and they were getting all mad because this whole thing was all cooked up in their brain. That's kind of this Neptune in Pisces, and the fact that it's retrograde, I view this as kind of deception squared. So I always use this as Neptune and Pisces. It's foggy. What you're seeing isn't what's real. And I view when it's retrograde, I view it as like worse, that, not only are what you see is not real and you're perceiving it wrong, but even your perception of that wrong thing is going to be wrong. So it's like, it's
what you think
deception squared.
You do not.
So what you see is a wrong thing, and then your reaction to that wrong thing is wrong anyway.
Oh, yeah. This makes a lot of sense for me as I'm typing it out. I'm like, oh no. So that scam. Minnesota's famous to us. So I'm wondering if that's just because lots of Sweden and Norway immigration to Minnesota. So I'm wondering if that's why. If you can reply, I'm just curious. And
there's a lot of Scandinavian descent in Minnesota. I travel there. My work's based out of there, so I don't get as far north as where Sarah's at, but
makes me so sad.
I go to St. Paul a lot.
We're going to do a St. Paul trip one of these days because there's all kinds of cool places like taxidermy.
Yep, she said migration. Yeah, that's
good. Yeah. So what do we think for politics? What do we think on the big scale? Because there's one more thing happening on Friday.
It's going to get misread. This could be the security thing too. The things are going to get misread and misread wrong. So again, one of these things that who knows what. I honestly think it's going to. I always say this. I honestly think it's going to be something that's going to break between now and then. So I don't think it's the things that are in the news right now, but it's all going to get misread. Like, just think we're talking about this coup. Whatever people were. I'll just use that as an example. I don't think this is going to be the thing, but just think about how not only are like on that coup thing, people are going to misread what is going on, and not only misread what is going on, but they're going to respond in the wrong way to what's going on.
Misread security.
But I'm just using that as an example. I don't think that's going to be the issue. It's going to be something else.
It might be something else. Who knows what it's going to be? If you guys have a thought or an intuition or a feeling,
I'll give another example. I feel like I'm ADD tonight. Economy. The economy is basically cyclical, and basically, we attribute a lot of things that happen in the economy to actions, whether, that probably have much less impact on it than we really think. But I view it the same kind of thing. You get some information pops up economically, and then people will scramble to like do something about it when, it's that kind of thing. It's like, people are going to just jump in and meddle and probably do something that they shouldn't do anyway. When in reality, it's just going to be what it's going to be.
They're going to meddle. I mean, they're going to meddle. Yuck. They're going to meddle.
Brad's posting stuff about, oh, wow. I think it's like a double Kansas City and Grand Panther from Mankato.
What? Look at that.
Crazy
Brad.
on his
Oh,
birthday,
I know
which is-
Brad.
Oh, okay.
We know Brad. He is a sports writer out of Kansas City. He is fantastic. Steph says, I've also got that the moon squares Mars. Oh, man. Don't say that. Gosh dang it. Okay, Steph, let's go ahead and add that in there too. But first, Friday night, the sun will be in Cancer. And that'll be conjunct Mercury in Cancer.
So I'm going to triple down on my theme here and say that this is going to be that same. So now the conjunct is combining the energies. And so we have the safety, security, space, both actions and communication in this. So I think Friday is just going to be more consolidating around whatever this issue is that they've been talking about that, we need to change for our security. So just, that's going to be the theme the rest of there's going to be something that's going to break in the next 24 hours. And it's going to be security related. And that's all you're going to hear about the next 3 days.
And that is security related. That's all you're going to hear about. And so this is all on the 30th. So I'm going to that last day on the planets. And when she says, man, and I've also got the moon, which would be in Scorpio, and Mars in Leo. So, man, moon and Scorpio squares off with Mars in Leo. Oh, man. What? Feelings of major water and intuition, connection, emotional damage.
I feel like this is the conflict between your public image and what kind of behind the mask you really want to do. And so there's going to be some conflicts here about kind of what publicly you should do and the actions you should take are going to really kind of go against what you really deep down want to do. So this is kind of the conflict between what you want to do and what you should do. Because Leo's strong and Mars is a stronger, the moon, just because the moon changes signs so quickly. So I'm going to put the emphasis on the Mars and Leo there. I feel like in most cases, people are going to do what they should do, even though deep down they don't want to.
How are people going to move? How do you think it's going to move?
It's funny. I was getting a gut feel while we're talking, even on the security thing and stuff. I'm starting to think it's going to be some cyber thing. I have a feeling there's going to be some hack somewhere that's going to freak people out. Maybe a big bang or something like that. Now watch that happens, and I'll have like investigators show up or something. That's kind of the gut. That's kind of the gut. I'm thinking is that it's going to be something along those lines, some kind of cyber thing that's going to pop up.
Okay. Well, I'm putting that down then. I'm putting it down. Man, two things happen on July 1st. So that's the last day, guys, of June. Is the 30th. Is that Friday? Is this coming Friday night? And I expect some craziness. I expect a little wildness. I don't know if you're going to be going out, what your plans are for Friday. What? Get crazy with it. But the universe is going to provide some crazy for you if you're not already in the thick of it. So let's do Saturday, July, the very beginning of July. Thank God. July? Okay. What's happening? What's happening, Hasta? And come on. This is what we have. So I put it in the chat room for those of you joining us on YouTube through the Paranormal Channel or Subspace or wherever. Mercury in Cancer. Yep. Sextile Jupiter in Taurus.
I'm laughing because sextile just kind of removes the obstacles in your way, and Jupiter is opportunity, but Taurus is kind of stable and indulgent. And so, and since Mercury is so, comfort and security, and it's a cardinal sign, so it wants to get things done, but it kind of does it, perhaps go sideways to move forward. I feel this is that Netflix and chill energy. I feel like this is just, people are going to want to do things on Saturday that comfort food. That's another good example for this. This is just things that are going to derive comfort. Maybe maybe what's going to happen the next few days is going to be stressful enough that people are just going to want to chill and indulge on Saturday. So I feel it's a good time if you sell anything in that kind of indulgent space. I feel people are going to splurge a little bit on Saturday. But yeah, they're going to want to feel secure too. So this is going to be more, I don't think this is going to be go out energy. This is chill at home and,
Ooh, so I really feel like, man, for those of you who join us on social media, you know that we put out there, as Matt is giving us these suggestions for how to use this energy, just chill out. So the shadow work would be like, how do you cool your energy down? What is the cool down? And I gotta say, my spirit guides, I know it sounds really strange to say out loud for those maybe new people listening, I am hearing zero cool. Someone whispered zero cool as I said the big cool down, and they're like, oh, like zero cool? That's from the movie Hackers. That was his name before he changed it, I think, right? Zero cool, or was it zero cool? I can't remember, but it just makes me think of that cyber thing you'd mentioned. Okay. So let's not get crazy with it. How do we think that this is going to start our July? Well, there's one more thing happening on Saturday PM, and that is this. What? Okay. And I feel like we've already kind of talked about this a little bit, but still that Jupiter and Taurus, we're doubling down on it now.
Oh yeah. So this is just it's basically the same kind of energy. So this is just, this is Netflix and chill.
And I would say raise those positive vibes. Cool down and put anger on ice. When we say chill out, all those out, in, ice, these, when I think of the sun, the center of our galaxy, and Cancer, that's really emotional motivations. And I would say for people going through that transformation of, you know what I want, and now that I'm not doing what I want, I'm doing what I should do. And you know what? This relief now feels so good that Jupiter and Taurus this is optimism and positive growth energy if used well. And so the shadow work there, I would say, is like, when you are in your garden and you really want to know if it's growing, you can't see it breaking above the soil yet, and you're really interested in, is it gonna bud? Is it gonna come out? Is it something gonna break? What is it? Did I do the right thing? You just have to wait. Do not go digging in the freaking soil to try and unearth something that you've just done on Friday. Leave it be. Let it be. Let it be.
I also think on the indulgent side, it's like, if, and I'm just going to go to food, but, if we order in a pizza, it's going to be, we're going to get the, 4 toppings. Or if you're going to grill something out, it's like, let's get steak instead of burgers. And so it's going to, there's going to be like just an indulgent element to it.
And just wait.
Open up the nice bottle of wine, not the cheap box wine.
Not the cheap stuff. Don't be cheap. And you'll appreciate this because of how it pans out. But so I don't know maybe what you guys have planned when you hear Matt saying this, but for Saturday night, and then so wherever you do your Netflix and chill on Saturday night, maybe in the comforts of your own home or a friend or somewhere you feel safe and secure, and these things that you're planting for the future, be careful. Sunday morning, you wake up, Sunday. Only one thing that I can see, correct me if I'm wrong, Steph, on Sunday afternoon, dreams coming to fruition with Venus and Leo. What? Hot. Squared off with Uranus and Taurus, some more self-indulgent. How do you see that, Matt, panning out?
Well, I think like Uranus and Taurus that's a weird combo because Uranus is kind of the curveball and kind of the rebel. I think my son's home.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to deal with that. And since Taurus is like stability and kind of, so I always view this as like rebelling by not doing. And, Venus can be romance or money, Leo, ego. So it's like, I feel like this is a bit of energy of like power struggle in relationships. The focus should be on me. So I'm not going to do what I normally do because my partner should be doing more for me.
Oh, no. The tally mark, the game playing.
Yeah. Not a great relationship energy for Sunday. So try not to be selfish. Try not to be selfish in your relationships, but I feel it's going to be a selfish energy on Sunday.
Oh, so then the shadow work then, because that's that Leo, Venus, vagina, all the things of vivacious sensuality going into the prideful lion. Give you what? And how to ask nicely. And I say that to the universe. Give me what? And how to ask nicely to the universe. Because that matters, right? And the difference between selfish and selfless sometimes is just in how we say it or how we do it. The intention might still be the same. So I'm really interested in how that is going to pan out for everyone. And for those of you joining us in the chat, be sure and share with us your thoughts on how it will pan out. Steph says, man, I've also got the moon squaring off with Neptune and the moon trine Mars. Don't say that. Don't say that, because what would we say about that? Moon squaring off with Neptune, and that's on the 2nd. So then you've got the moon in Sagittarius. So that would be yeah. So moon waxing.
That's
in
emotionally
Sag.
Wanting to do something new, but that is having conflict with those
squaring off with
dreams and deceptions. And so I feel like, yeah, that's bad. I feel like you may have an idea to try something new and it's going to be based on bad info. So be careful what you do.
Oh no, I'm going to even put that in that new thing has bad sources. Mm-hmm. Think again.
And then the trine with Mars. So Mars and Leo. So yeah, it's like I have this new idea. I want to do it. It'll make me feel good. It's going to be like ego driven, and it's a bad idea. I don't know why this example came up in my mind, but it's like, sure, you can sing karaoke. And you get up there on amateur night karaoke and you embarrass the shit out of yourself. That's kind of this combo.
It makes me think of those people who stand in line for how many hours? How many hours did they stand in line? Somebody let them down. Somebody. You told them they could sing, and then they get there and you just think, how did you get here? Well, everyone has always said that I'm the best singer they've ever heard. Well, who the hell have you been talking to? My dead dad? Okay, yeah, no.
It's that American Idol. This is it doesn't have to be singing. It can be anything, but it's like this. Now's my time. Now's my opportunity. And you go out there and you do it, and it's just bad.
Real bad. Okay, Monday, the first Monday of July. God bless us. We made it. And what is it going to be? What's it going to be? It's a full freaking moon, guys. Go out and get your crystals. Put your water out. Monday, we're going to feel it. And we're going to feel it waxing. We're going to feel it building throughout the weekend. So all those tears, all that, those heavy thoughts, all those big investments, all those big life changes that have been coming your way really does come to fruition on Monday.
It's a Cancer cycle. So it's all about, security and kind of emotional security. And since Capricorn's all about achievement, I would say this is the energy of, what do you need to achieve? What do you need to do to make yourself feel more stable and secure? And then go ahead and do that. That'd be the reflection for Monday, I would say.
Secure and safe. Investing and thinking. Silent energy and feelings about future. It's so interesting when I think about Capricorn. That's that cardinal earth sign. This is when people say, is this a good day for money? Is this a good full moon for money making, career, or relationship? This is a lot of those things, wouldn't you say, Matt?
Yeah. Well, and it's opposite of Cancer, so they're kind of like two sides of the same coin. So, but Cancer wants to be in its shell and be secure in its shell, and Capricorn's the little goat climbing mountains, and they want to, strike out to new territories. So it's kind of that yin and yang balance you have there between feeling secure and feeling safe and feeling like you're in a good spot versus stepping out from your comfort zone and trying to accomplish something new. And it's that tension is kind of what's going on in this cycle.
Man, is it ever going to be? What do you think this is going to mean for the pan out of politics and socioeconomic change when we put those predictions on the side there? What do we think that this is going to be in a full moon for us as a group of people?
I still feel this is going to be tied into what happens later on in the week, because this is going to be, okay, what do we need to achieve to get that security? And so if the security is going to get rattled, between Wednesday and Friday, and there's this proposal which is bullshit, I'll say again, a BS proposal to get you more security. Monday is going to be when there's going to be action on it.
Okay, there's going to be action on it.
But whatever that proposal is going to be, it's BS. Somebody's
he just keeps reiterating that.
Yeah. Well, because I do it. I feel it's all an illusion. And so some people just try to sell you. They want to take your money or something from you to give you the illusion that you're more secure when in reality you're not.
It's
so
not.
It's going to be BS.
Don't bother.
Whatever it is out there is going to be BS.
So that's Monday night, and it's the night before July 4th. So then Tuesday, and Steph, I'm going to need you on this one because this often will pop up randomly. It's not that often that it happens. When I say often, I don't mean, I mean it's not frequent that this happens, but once or twice, maybe a month, once or twice, we have no major movements. And that is, I spelled movements wrong, so don't mind me. No major monsoons on Tuesday, July 4th, unless those of you who have maybe a different almanac than myself. Now, when I look at and I share my planetstoday.com astrology with you guys, because I use the Farmer's Almanac, I second guess it with things online, and I line it up with different things before we do this each week. And then I love it because people like Steph or our other astrologers, astronomers, psychics, and alchemists join us in the chat, and we really fine tune it. So then that way, when it goes out on social media, man, it really, I feel secure and strong about some of these predictions and affirmations and what to expect for the day. So then Tuesday, on the 4th of July, whatever we are all doing here in America to celebrate that freedom and independence, this is still going to be in the shadow and the wake of that full moon in Capricorn now waning. What do you see for Tuesday, 4th of July? Wow. And Steph.
Just trying to get. I'm just going to say here.
Yeah.
What would be the odds if we share the same birthday?
Who's got a birthday?
Our friend in Sweden said that she was born in December. So I said I'm the 28th. So.
Oh, she's the same birthday as you?
No. She's just in December. I was just like,
okay.
Let's see what.
Smaller, not stalker, said Steph. Stalker ones. Small little movements, mainly just the moon waning. Moon waning and Pluto wobbling. Take note of the shifts around you. Sometimes, that's all that you need to do. Just be awares. Say, nothing in the sky is really shifting a whole lot today. I wonder if I will feel any which way about that. See if it affects you. Yeah, autocorrect has just been a nightmare tonight. So I appreciate that, Steph. And for those of you in the chat room saying, wow. But so in the next 7 days, needless to say, we have a full moon and maybe a cyberspace, maybe a cyber attack. We're not 100% sure. These are all things that we are always looking at with the energies and the signs and the, well, we say coincidences, but how many coincidences make a fact? The predictability and the patterns are pretty secure. I mean, over and over and over and over and over throughout time, we can see the patterns in the astrology and the shakes and the shifts that we have happening right now between Pluto and between Saturn moving and some of these rules and boundaries breaking. This is a big year for that, wouldn't you say, Matt? What should we maybe expect to see here?
Well, I think the big things this week is, whatever this issue is going to be, there's going to be some proposed rule change done for your security. But you're going to have to give something up for it. So I feel that's a bad deal. That'll be the main theme. But then watch over the weekend. Don't be selfish in your relationships. There's going to be a, area to be thinking, kind of more about you than your partner and willing to maybe do some rebellious things to kind of highlight that. So if you want to avoid strife, keep an eye on that. Try not to be so selfish in that space. And the last thing is, if you get these wonderful ideas to step out and try something new, because it's your great opportunity for the spotlight, think twice, because you're probably getting edged on by the energies out there to do something that might embarrass you.
Man, the energies are trying to embarrass us. Why are they doing that? What did we ever do to them? You know what I mean?
I think of those like memes that are like, in quotes. Come on, you can sing real good, tequila. It's that kind of thing.
It is. There's going to be some false hope. I don't want to say false hope because it's so pessimistic. There's going to be, what is it? False hope? I don't know how I want to say it. What's a better way to say that, Matt?
I'm not sure which way you're going, so I can't.
It's like these life changes and things that people are experiencing. And I do know that the transformation is very real for everyone, for our country, for our nation, for our state, for our people, for people's families, for just the identity space of where we are and all things. I would say that the last week, good ups and downs, emotional Cancer feelings. And that in this next week ahead, continue with what your long-term goals are and don't let little hurdles flub you up.
Yep.
It really is. Like, don't let them flub you up. Man, we had some really great new friends in the chat room tonight. I want to thank you guys.
Mona, great.
Yeah, Steph, Field Guy, Brad, Chet, everybody, and sharing all the things in the chat room. Steph says, as a mom, I now just try to embarrass my kids, like seat dancing in the Jeep at a red light. Yeah, the universe is going to be doing that to us, and it's not intended to like have a tantrum. Don't have a tantrum about it. It really is just attempts to be lighthearted amidst a traffic jam of life. So don't be crazy. Sarah, do you have the air quality alerts too? Oh, yeah, about how bad they are and how different things we should expect in our environment, all of it. But you guys, join us on social media, sign up, and for next week, we hope to see you here. It's every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Matt and I, preferably both of us, but we are crazy people, busy. We hope to see you here. So join us next week. Tell us your thoughts. Send us your predictions. And we really appreciate you joining us tonight on Astrology and Alchemy. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, I got to find our video here so I can see. All right. Have a good week, everybody.